Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hello, my friends. I'm Michael Unbroken, host of the Think Unbroken podcast and founder of thinkunbroken.com. And I'm honored to be your trauma coach and mentor because I believe that everyone is capable of getting unstuck, cultivating self-love, and becoming the hero of their own story. I believe that when implemented correctly, the practical tools and education you will receive from this show will help you lead an unbroken and extraordinary life. I believe that no matter what we come from, that we all have the ability to choose ourselves first, to create and manifest a powerful and grace-filled future and love the reflection in the mirror. I believe that every day is a day to grow, learn, heal, and change. That's why I started my company, thinkunbroken.com, which is an online training and healing and personal growth platform where you get everything that I know about how to get motivated, be accountable, get out of the vortex, and become the hero of your own story through community, connection, and commitment. For more information, visit thinkunbroken.com. Please listen closely as you may learn just one thing that will help you be unbroken. And please share this episode with at least 3 of your friends because we all need community and connection in our healing journey. And be sure to DM me and tag me on Instagram at Michael Unbroken so that I can say hi. I just want to thank you again for being a part of this, for listening, and being a member of the Unbroken Nation. Now, let's get into today's show and make the world unbroken.
In this together. What should young people do with their lives today? Many things, obviously, but the most daring thing is to create stable communities in which the terrible disease of loneliness can be cured. Kurt Vonnegut. The truth is that you are not alone, and we are in this together. All of us warriors are scratching and crawling for victory. The feeling of being alone is all too familiar, as I am sure you know. We come to the understanding that we are not loved, cared for, or supposed to exist. We are told that it's better to be seen and not heard, and when we reach out for support from our parents, peers, and teachers, we are often shunned or dismissed. What is worse is that some of us are abused more when we express our needs. In taking up our agency, having ownership, and finding real and authentic support in our community and social network, we are exponentially increasing the percentage for victory. As children, many of us were isolated, deemed the weird kids, or acted out for attention, which often resulted in negative consequences. As teens, we may start drinking and doing drugs, utilizing self-harm like cutting and burning as a way to feel, and burying ourselves in music, sports, academics, and sex to salve the pain of our home lives. When we reach adulthood, we still carry many of those same avoidance, self-harm, and isolating behaviors. The foundation of child abuse and trauma set us up to seek experiences that recreate a narrative in which we don't have to confide in others for help or support. After all, we made it this far alone. The impact of loneliness and isolation can be confounding because in youth we are surrounded by adults and other people who are meant to protect us. We are often on high alert at all times due to the fear of threat that is associated with being around people. This fear of connection and intimacy carries over and manifests in adult connections, friendships, and relationships. Fear is an emotion that once served as a mechanism for self-preservation and protection as a child. This same emotion in turn becomes one of the biggest obstacles we face in taking steps towards healing and connection with our environment and the people in it as adults. I would argue that adult survivors of abuse need to get out of isolation and seek the company, expertise, and trust of others as support for healing. You may feel like you are alone and that no one could understand the pain you experienced as a child. Who could understand what it feels like to grow up the way you did? The surprising truth is that when I started sharing my story, I discovered that I was not alone. More so, there were hundreds of people that I knew who had also experienced similar events as children. Some of the closest people in my life had parents or were around adults that were abusive, that were addicts, and they had been raped or molested or had grown up in the chaos of not being protected by those entrusted to care for them. My choice to be vulnerable opened a path of communication between me and the people in my life. My bond grew closer with some friends, and with others, my story scared them away. But it was always through these newfound connections that for the first time, I learned something transformational. I am not alone. Sharing your story publicly, or at all, is not a preamble to the symphony of healing. And you may never share your story outside of a journal or a therapist, and that's okay. I have felt compelled to talk about my past. It felt like a responsibility. I owed it to myself, my brothers and sister, and the millions of survivors that I knew were in the world waiting to be championed. What I had been holding in felt like a house of bricks that sat atop my chest, and each time I shared bits and pieces of my past, I literally felt the weight being lifted from me. Each time I sat with my therapist, opened up to my friends, wrote a blog post, sat in a group, or got a better understanding of myself as seen through the eyes of others, I felt stronger and more in control. This process took years. I found hope for change and understanding of myself in the structures of men's group therapy, one-on-one therapy, EMDR, CBT, NLP, yoga, meditation, massage, Alcoholics, Narcotics, and Sex Addicts Anonymous, and writing. It's important for me to be very clear here. There was no singular modality that led me to change. I began to notice as I went deeper into my past that my community held me up and didn't let me falter. My people kept my spirits high, helped me hold myself accountable, and gave me a platform to simply unload a truck brick by brick. There is no way that I could be where I am today without the support of others. The hardest thing that I had to do in my journey is choosing to give myself permission to be vulnerable. But without a doubt, it's also the most impactful choice I have ever made. It was in candid honesty with myself through vulnerability that I was able for the first time to be real with the people in my life. To put it this way, you know more about me from reading this book than people that I knew for 2 decades. Because of my vulnerability, I have become the most true version of myself, which in part is thanks to the safety and support of my community. You are not alone in your healing journey, even now as you read this. You may be wondering who you can confide in. Chances are that you are surrounded by a fantastic community of people that will support you, and if you aren't, then you need to change where you invest your time and energy. There are so many options at your fingertips to find a community of people that will support you in your journey that you can no longer make excuses about being alone. Support can come from friends and family and coaches like me, professionals like psychologists and counselors, and even Facebook. You may find support in anonymity through groups like AA, NA, and SA, or Reddit. There are also more and more non-denominational groups for support popping up every day. The resources at your disposal right now are unlimited if you give yourself the freedom to seek them. If you feel like you don't have a community, then you are going to have to create one. It's in your isolation and self-destructive behaviors that you find yourself trapped in the shame of the vortex. There are people in your life that care about your well-being, that want you to succeed, and that want to be your biggest fan and cheer you on as you fight to take your life back. It may not always seem that way because you have been conditioned through experience to believe that most people are out to get you and to harm you. But I promise there are people that care about you. You have come to understand the fact that people will hurt you in an honest way because the truth that people have hurt you is real. Being hurt by others is at the core of the nature of child abuse, but you have to want to create a new change to switch your mentality to people will help me. You have to choose to seek safety in others. In giving yourself permission to seek a different narrative, you will free yourself from the vortex and become who you are. It's not easy and it's not comfortable, but if you want change, then it can happen by being open to possibility. But that is up to you. Sometimes the first step to victory is simply telling someone that you need help. Becoming unbroken, identifying your community. No major battle in history has been won without a partnership amongst people who are supportive of each other's values and mission. Creating accountability in your life begins with sharing your vulnerability with the people that you trust the most. In this exercise, list 3 people you trust, who you know have your back, and why you know this to be true. You can reach out to these people day or night, and they will support you and have your best interest in mind. Reach out to them and tell them that you are on a journey to healing. You do not have to be specific about what you are doing or what has happened. Simply ask them if they are willing to support you. Do not go forward until you list 3 people. This exercise is important to me because I thought about this journey and not ever talking about the bad things that happened to me. For the majority of my life, up until this moment in which I decided to create change and seek the opportunity to build community, I had not really shared my story at all. And I'm not saying that you have to or even should. That is not a part of this healing process. But having a supportive community around you of people who you know that you can potentially rely on in the event that you needed support, which guess what? You probably do because we all do. is so important because then we don't feel so alone. As trauma survivors, we're so often ostracized and left to our own devices, wondering why me, what has happened, why am I alone, why does no one love me, care about me, and support me? The reality that I have come to discover is that those thought processes do not hold true once you start to build a group of people in your life who support you. And that's what I want you to do here. I don't know that you necessarily have to reach out to these people to be able to know that they're supportive, but I recommend that you do, because we so often have had negative values and understandings reinforced in us. How incredible would it feel to have something positive reinforced in you, like the idea of support in your community?
Hey, Unbroken Nation, a quick pause in today's episode to tell you about the brand new Think Unbroken app. That's right, I just released a brand new app in the App Store that you can take the first course in the Think Unbroken curriculum, the 5 Keys to Healing Trauma. It's a 7-day course for free. All you have to do is go into your App Store right now. You can pause this video and search Think Unbroken. That's on both Apple and Android. And you can take the Think Unbroken 5 Keys to Healing Trauma 7-day course for free. This is daily coaching from me. It's daily activities, daily check-ins. I built this course in this app specifically to bring huge value to you in your life, where you're at and what you're trying to do and going next and becoming the hero of your own story. So check out the App Store, again, Apple and Android. Just simply search Think Unbroken and you will see the Think Unbroken app. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram, so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.